Welcome back. I am GR Fallas, and today we are going to be discussing the High Priestess. Again, I am using a Rider-Waite-based tarot system, but any particular deck that you have should work. So find your High Priestess and let's get started. So, as you can see, with this particular High Priestess, all right, we have a moon right here, hinting at intuition and at the deeper levels that she is exploring. We also have a Torah in her hand and then a cross right about here, sort of hinting at these other aspects of religion and spirituality that she is exploring. We have pomegranates, which are often sort of something that's reflective of a nurturing nature, of abundance and prosperity, if you will. A sustenance that she's finding while she is working on finding her spiritual and sort of intuition-based voice. There is an ocean in the background here, but again, since we're sort of hyper-focused on self, this sort of tapestry is behind her, reflecting on that sort of inner focus of self. So we do have these two opposite colored pillars. And while this doesn't stand for it directly, I do like to think of it sort of as shadow and light work. So a lot of people, when they're doing spiritual work, have to do sort of shadow and light work as well. We have to sort of delve into the things that we maybe aren't as comfortable with to try and discover our truth and what works for us, and to try and heal and to advance, if you will, in whatever aspect that may be. If you get this card, this is typically going to mean that you're in a moment of sort of spiritual, metaphysical awakening. You're trying to maybe discover what divination tools work for you, or what aspects of spirituality are most interesting to you. This could also just denote a searching, and this is usually inner searching. Sometimes people find the High Priestess to be a little bit closed off, but that's mostly because the High Priestess is very much trying to define their spiritualism with a lot of inner work, and that's important as well. Now, if it was reversed, I might say that this person is sort of having trouble actually getting to where they're hoping to be. Maybe they're even feeling a little bit more lost at first. Oftentimes, when you're first on this journey, you might not exactly be starting in the right place. You may know you're interested in spiritual work or in getting to know more things, but maybe you realize, oh, tarot's not exactly for me. Maybe I'm more into, crystal healing, or, maybe healing work is where I want to be, and that might be more Reiki based. So again, it's not necessarily negative. It's just maybe you're having a little bit of difficulty finding your footing on the path. The other thing this may be is, again, if this represents a person, this person might sort of feel closed off to you. But again, this could just be because they're really trying to center and find themselves with sort of no background noise, if you will. And so that can sort of be a little bit distancing in a certain way. Again, if you're not comfortable reading the upside down version, you can just stay with the right side up interpretation. You can add the reverse interpretation later, but there's no need to rush. And if in general it just does not feel right to read the reversed, then you can stay with this as well, just the right side up interpretation. Okay, so now let's take a look at a couple of other priestesses from other decks so we can see sort of the similarity and differences. And so here we go. We're going to discuss the various High Priestesses with our 3 decks here. Okay, so let's just take a look at some of this imagery. So we have the pillars, and in this case, we have these sort of curtains, if you will, standing in for pillars. Again, with this sort of opposite coloring, hinting at light and shadow work. But also pillars can hint at building a foundation, right? Building a structure to put a roof over your head, if you will. And so in this way, we're building up our spirituality as well, what resonates with us. Again, we have the moon. This is this weird light type image here, but it does hint at the aspect of intuition, what is underneath the surface, that level of work. This particular one also shows our various divination tools. She has tarot cards, this sort of mannequin hand that is mimicking palmistry lines, as well as our crystal balls and, of course, our black cat. But again, hinting at all the tools of divination and finding what works for you, what speaks to you. Tarot is just one of the divination tools available to use, but there are several others. And while this may not resonate with you exactly, there are certainly other ones that may resonate, or you may find that you enjoy working with two mediums. And so you may do palmistry and tarot cards, for instance, because you find one helps better in one way than the other. Another thing I'd like to note is just some of the coloring that the High Priestesses are wearing. We have a little bit of the blue and white. She is wearing all white, and this one is wearing purple and white. These are sort of higher level spiritual colors, okay? Hinting at, working sort of with spirit, if you will, in these higher level chakra colors. So these are just some of the High Priestesses you may come across in your tarot journey. So thank you for joining and learning about the High Priestess. Again, take what works for you and leave the rest. I'm GR Fallas, and if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for future videos.